Live from Delaware, it's Hoagies and Pierogis! With your hosts, Ian DiCarlo. We're getting a little double down. Chocolate Rain. And RJ Hammond.
I just want some more hot tea in my life. Let's just say he was a good lover.
Another week as a married man, another week just living the dream. How you feeling, RJ?
Feeling great. It's been good. We are going to what's it called? Northern New York, upstate New York this weekend for a wedding. So yeah, it should be a good time. Be out in the woods.
That'll be fun. Yeah, it's just been a crazy week of getting the past two episodes fucking edited and stuff, and just fucking getting my head wrapped around what I'm doing at work. It's been going well, but it's just like
it's just a lot.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah, I felt like that the other day after work. I didn't even make it through the game last night.
I did, and oh boy, it was fun.
Yeah, everyone got a hit. It was awesome.
Yeah,
I was waiting for the
awesome.
homer. I was waiting for the one homer. I was waiting for just one of them, and it never came. But they played good, and Wheeler was a fucking stud. I love Zach
Wheeler was really good for almost 7 innings.
Yeah, he had 10. I think he had 10 strikeouts or something like that. It was 8 or 10, and then you have Nola tonight, and he's just so up and down. This is a lot of fans have been like, this has got to be a statement game for him.
Right.
Just deal and then move on. Shut out the Marlins.
When I was watching the first game last night, I had a flashback to last year when I middled his strikeouts in the first game of the World Series.
Oh, yeah.
I bet like over 5.5 strikeouts, under 6.5, and he got 6.
Yeah.
But yeah, playoff baseball is just so fucking exciting. There's something that's just so different about it.
Well, not if you're in Tampa Bay.
Right.
It's.
I heard. I didn't watch the game, but I heard that the vibe was abysmal.
Yeah, and it's so crazy seeing the two extremes of like seeing that, and then, I mean, admittedly, the bank was packed. The cheapest tickets tonight are $300. So like, it's like two completely different environments, and it is 100% like a home field advantage. Like the team lives through them. Fucking Castellanos flipping the whole entire bench off.
Dude, I really loved that, but I just found out today that he didn't flip the bench off.
Ring finger.
Gave the ring finger. Yeah.
That's.
It's kind of cold, dude. It was kind of cold.
Let's go get a ring. Oh, I liked the idea that it was his middle finger, and they just kept showing it. Just the replay, it was just right on his face, and all I just saw was that, and I was like, oh Jesus.
Yeah, the second I didn't think they were gonna replay it because of that, but yeah, just his ring finger. Oh well.
I didn't even realize it.
But it would be hilarious if the Marlins somehow pulled this out and they face the Twins, who are all of a sudden electric.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about their losing streak in there, and their luck finally turned around, and it's good for them. I love seeing those when those finally break. Like, it's annoying when the Red Sox or any Boston team wins anything now, but when they first won that first World Series, it was like everyone was behind them. You get behind the lovable losers. Like imagine if the Lions won the Super Bowl this year. Like, America would be cheering for the Lions.
I think if they had maybe similarly the Orioles.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that would be so fucking fun to see. How about a Phillies Orioles matchup, just going back and forth between Baltimore and Philly?
It would be. Is it too homer of me to say that there's a possibility we could have a home field advantage at both places because it is so close to Philly, and those fans will travel?
I don't doubt it, but I'm sure they would
Maybe not
I don't
home
know.
field, but like to make enough noise that you can tell there's Phillies fans in the building.
Oh well, it's gonna be. I don't know. It's gonna be loud. Orioles fans have been wanting this.
I know. I'm interested to see what their atmosphere looks like. Like, especially they're orange and black, and they're in October, like right around Halloween. Like, if there happens to be a Halloween game, like that would
Yeah.
be crazy.
Oh, dude, that would be awesome. I would
And
love
I'm
to
wondering-
go, like, just be there.
And I'm wondering if they're doing. I'd have to look at their socials and stuff when the series gets set up. If they're going to do like, excuse me, like a whole blackout. Like, hey, everyone wear black. Or
Yeah,
do
or
orange,
like an orange sea. Oh my god.
That would be crazy. Because like the Phillies, you see like if they organize it, you'll see like a sea of red or a sea of like the light blue, depending on even what the jerseys they're wearing that day. Like
Try to stripe out the stadium black orange, black orange.
like Penn State.
Yeah.
That was impressive. Or the most impressive one is Tennessee when they do the checkered. I don't know how they do that. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's some fucking coordination there.
It really is. They really have trust in their fans. Hey, if you're in this section, you better
Yeah.
fucking wear white or orange.
Mhm. Then there'll be a few odd ones out there,
Mm-hmm.
but that's how it goes.
Right. I mean, other than that, those would be some cool matchups. I would love to see the Braves in it again. I'm kind of a Braves fan in general. I know. But like,
If
see,
we have to face them next series, it's definitely a very scary matchup. We did it last year, but they're only just better this year. But their pitcher, fucking what's his name, was saying that he liked it better when there was no fans in the stands. Spencer Strider. Spencer Strider said he liked it better when there was no fans, like in 2020. And then if you got to come to us, then that doesn't seem to bode well for you. But we'll see.
We will see. I think it would be cool to see Acuna win in a 40-70 season. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
I mean...
Oh, yeah. Right after the episode last week, I realized that he had gotten it.
Yeah, he got
the
it
day
later.
after the night of? I'm pretty sure
That
he got
night
it the
of.
night
It was
of.
after we recorded.
Yeah.
It popped up, and I was like, oh, shit, we literally just talked about is this possible? And then he just did it.
Yeah. Pretty easily.
But yeah, I'll give a quick little thing on the Trevor Bauer thing. It was, he had all the proof in the world that to just completely prove himself absolutely innocent. That is tough for her, and I think that's just where I'll leave it at, because I don't want to it's a very touchy subject still, but it was very,
Right.
he was he provided just straight facts, and it was like, oh shit, I think he'll probably go for the MLB next as far as suing to get some type of salary or something back. But yeah,
Well, it was
like, oh shit.
it was always kind of up in the air. Like, he was suspended before they even went to trial. So
They were, the people the girls' legal team or whatever was hiding a lot of evidence that they came to find out after, that led to the settlement. It was very interesting.
that is wild. That's, like I said, there was always some question about if he actually did it or not.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was kind of on the fence. I think I was like,
Well, I
maybe
think I
he-
remember
I
we
was
talked about
always
it.
on the side of maybe he went a little too far. Maybe he had consent initially, but then he went a little bit too far.
Yeah.
But
I think
with this video coming out, it seems like something wrong happened along the way.
Yeah. When we talked about it initially, I think when it came out, because I think we were doing this, and it was he came, as soon as the news came out, he immediately responded this is all not true. So that's what gave me pause of that was so immediate. It wasn't like a Zero Dark 30 come out with a very PR statement.
That's
after.
the thing. It wasn't very it wasn't a very PR response that he had to.
It was he saw the ESPN alert and immediately just tweeted from his phone. He was just whoa, what is this shit?
Right.
But yeah, that's all I got on that.
Yeah, he's got to show up being all emo like Jimmy Butler did. Where are you? And I'm so,
So
sorry.
sorry.
I cannot sleep.
I cannot dream tonight.
Tonight will be the night that I will fall for you.
Well, it was funny that when I saw the first picture, I was like, just the hair. I was like, oh, he's doing the Andre 3000. And then I saw all the piercings and stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, he's doing the emo thing because he's still upset that they didn't get Damian Lillard.
Wouldn't that be awesome if his costume was the fucking
Hey,
if his costume was from Hey Ya, yeah. Lillard.
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson.
No, how about I'm sorry, Portland. Oh, I am for real.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's. I just thought that was really funny
I'm
that he.
leaving for real. Oh, the Twins have advanced in the playoffs.
Oh, the Twins did it. Let's go.
Yep.
Let's fucking
Yep.
go. Hopefully the Diamondbacks make it too. They beat the Brewers last night. I was very happy with that.
Yeah, I heard the Brewers made some very key errors in their coaching.
Fuck the Brewers.
Fair.
Their fucking Craig Counsell's sweaty as shit.
Sweaty as shit. He's Rick Pitino.
He just makes like playoff level pitching changes in the middle of the regular season against the Pirates when they're up like fucking 7-2, and it's like,
Oh.
dude, come on.
Leave us alone.
Seriously.
We're no harm to you.
No harm at all. But yeah, like I said, love playoff baseball. I think the atmosphere of playoff baseball is probably the best.
It's a lot more fun. I kind of wish they didn't start them so early though. Like I'd rather have two screens on, like during the earlier, like
Right.
a 6 and 8 o'clock starts.
That would be
Almost.
nice.
Or even like 5.
Yeah. But yeah. Let's go, Phils. Wearing red
Hell yeah.
in support.
My jersey's being washed. It smelled really bad for some reason.
Okay. Let's get into some college football here.
Hell yeah.
What was that? Week 3, week 4, week 4.
This is week 5.
The one that just happened?
Yeah, week 5. We're in week 6 this week.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're right. Holy shit.
It's flying by, Ian.
It's going by so
fast. Savor it while we have it. Savor it while we have it.
Yeah. All right. So week 5.
Yes. The SEC as a whole looks quite vulnerable. I think there is a path here where we could possibly not see an SEC team in the playoff. Georgia, I know last year when they had down games, I said, hey, don't worry about it. Some of these games that they've had, it's a little troubling. They have Kentucky this week, and Kentucky has a damn good defense, and they play the same style, and it's going to come down to, I think, whose guys end up, I guess, being better. Like, it could come down to Corey might text you, hey, Ian, this is why 5 stars matter.
Whatever.
With something like that. Alabama seems to have figured it out with Jalen Milroe. I wouldn't count them out, even though I did say the SEC is down. They do have a path to still be in there with one loss against Texas, who looks like...
Wait, isn't this crazy, though? The SEC, you got Georgia at number 1, and then you don't have another SEC team until Alabama at 11.
Yeah, it's
And
crazy.
that's week 11.
And even the ones that are still up there, down below, are a little different. Like Missouri is a damn good team this year.
Missouri's good.
Ole Miss wins the thrill in LSU. LSU's defense is just trash. Ole Miss, that whole West is wide open. A&M Alabama is a huge game this week. Definitely, probably the second biggest. Probably the second biggest game. But yeah, SEC it's going to be interesting. I mean, it's going to be interesting all around. But the SEC is a lot more interesting, where Georgia does look a little vulnerable. But if they go out and squash Kentucky, I'm scared of them again.
Yeah. Of course, this seems to happen every single time I tune in. I'm like, oh, Georgia's tied with so-and-so, and I tuned into the game, and they just started dominating. And that's exactly what happened when I tuned into the Auburn game.
It was kind of weird because it was such a close game the whole time, but if you look at their stats, their quarterback only threw for 86 yards. And it was just an ugly, ugly game.
All to Brock Bowers in the last 2 drives.
Brock Bowers he's a goddamn man. He is. He might be go down good. As one of the best college tight ends. It was they're struggling. Hey, let's run the Brock Bowers plays, and that was impressive.
Absolutely. That was insanely impressive. SEC as a whole. They're now they're welcoming Texas and Oklahoma next year.
Yes, and Texas took down their number 1, and then going into the Big Ten, Big Penn State. I mean, I was stressing the whole goddamn time. But
dude,
somehow
that was wild.
This is one of those games where remember how I talked about Texas and Wyoming? The first half it was struggling, and then they just turned it on. This is kind of what Penn State did, and I think a lot of these games you can kind of eliminate the first half of they probably walked in sleepy, underestimating Northwestern. I mean, James Franklin wasn't even playing music because he said it was going to be so quiet there. So he just kind of lulled him into that. But you can't get those slow starts if you want to beat Michigan and Ohio State. But James Franklin has covered Jesus, man. He has covered 5 games this year in the most ridiculous fashion twice. West Virginia week 1, and then this time was you didn't even need to do it. And it technically shouldn't have even counted because I think it was a fake kneel.
Well, it was 26.5 points, and it was 10-10 at halftime. So, obviously, I was holy shit.
It was a miracle cover and over again, I think. No, I didn't bet the over. I didn't bet the over.
Even in the third quarter, at the end of the third quarter, they were only up by 17. It was only 7-10.
Yeah, it was.
So I was they're probably not going to get there.
It was weird. We've got 2 weeks, I think, and then it's Ohio State, and that is huge. It's at Ohio State, and I really want to believe that we have a chance. We always give them a fight, even when we weren't as good as I think we are this year.
Well, I think, what is it? That's week 8.
Yeah.
So Penn State has a bye week 6.
Yeah, there's a bye in there.
And then they play fucking Massachusetts.
Yeah, just a little tune-up game. And then
it's
speaking of Ohio State.
It's in Ohio State.
Yep, that's okay. Being home or away against Ohio State, I don't think matters to us because we always do play them hard. Michigan is it is impossible for us to win at Michigan at this point. It has been horrible, but we have them at home, so that'll be good. And then Ohio State plays Maryland this week, and Maryland has been quietly the most impressive 5-win team. That is, I mean, they haven't played the best competition, but they're putting up points, more than 30 points every week, and Ohio State's defense is a lot better. I think they can cover, but don't be surprised if they're kind of in it. Talia, Tua's younger brother, looks good.
Yeah.
And their defense was swarming against Indiana.
Maryland is looking as good as they should have looked last year. I think a lot of people had them as a sneaky good team last year.
Yeah.
But I think they're living up to that promise this year.
And there's a lot of people kind of waiting for them to fall on their face like they normally do, and this is the game where it could happen. If it's just all implodes here, then it's ooh, Maryland's headed down to a 7-5 season real quick.
Yeah. I can see that happening. Maybe they're like the Tennessee of last year.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Pac-12. What was that Colorado USC game? What was that?
It was just the highest scoring game that I literally just hardly paid attention to at all. I didn't watch. I knew I had bet both team total overs. I had bet the over, and Colorado's team total over cashed before halftime. And I was all right, USC had 41 at halftime or in the third quarter, and I was
wasn't the team total for USC 48.5?
No, it was 50. The one I got was 50. And I think they might have even had 48 in the third quarter, and they just never scored again. And Colorado kept scoring. And Colorado could have easily the play calling at the end, they kept running the ball and just going slow. And then they scored and they were down 1, but they had no time to even try and get the ball back.
Yeah, it was like, oh wait,
So
can we actually do this?
Yeah, USC didn't even need to do anything. But if they would have put pressure and there would have been more time, it would have been like, all right, let's go score, and I would have won. And I was really pissed.
Yeah, 0 points in the fourth quarter for USC. How pitiful is that? I mean, they were looking unstoppable. It was, 21-0 in the second quarter?
I was ready to say that their defense might be fixed in the first quarter because they were swarming, and then
they were looking very good.
All of a sudden, they looked like typical USC. They couldn't tackle. They were letting Shador get out of the pocket and make throws downfield, and it was just like, all right, this is a problem, and this is again, Notre Dame is not going to be easy. Their Utah even is not easy, but without Cam Rising,
the Trojans looked so tired in the second half. Like you could tell the elevation was getting to them.
And it's a sin if Lincoln Riley does not at least make the playoff with Caleb Williams. You have him for 2 years, for 3 years even, at Oklahoma technically, but you couldn't have at that point.
Right.
How do you not at least make the playoff and give your fucking guy a chance? You can't get a defense figured out for him.
I know that they were without one of their top wide receivers, but that's he didn't play defense.
That wasn't the issue.
That wasn't the issue at all. I mean, it was the issue in the fourth quarter, but
yeah,
I'm starting to, I don't know.
Caleb
Williams was just, he made all of the wide open throws, but when he started to get a little bit contested, it was a little bit worrying. It seemed like he always went to his first option.
The offensive line became a bit of a problem, but man, he just makes some of these throws that maybe the guy is open, but he's throwing it like Patrick Mahomes, where he's running the opposite way and turning his body you don't see normal people do.
That's the one that I was going to say in the first quarter when he ran out of the pocket through.
He was wide open, but it was an absolute strike where even anyone who tried to throw that, me, I could probably throw that way over his head trying to do that.
Yeah. And
it was just a piss missile down the field. I mean, he throws it like a goddamn rocket, like he's Mega Man.
Yeah. So DJ Ukulele is leading the Beavers. They're still the dream's still alive.
Yeah, there's only one loss. The Pac-12 can be it's going to be very interesting, and Oregon State's not out of it. They can play with any of these teams. I think any of these teams can beat each other on any day of the week, and they're upsetting Utah. I don't know what Cam Rising's doing. I don't know if he's just sitting out for the draft, but
apparently they're just not fucking the doctors won't clear him. That's the thing. The doctors won't clear him.
They're struggling without him. They need him on offense to get the defense off the field for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I don't know what's taking so long because apparently he's healthy, but the team doctors are just like no.
Yeah.
Which is
That's crazy.
I mean, since this is his last season, most likely why risk it more? But he needs to show. He needs to have something on tape.
I think he does. I think he's one of those guys that come combine time, he's one of those typical, you're going to start to hear his name around the combine, rising up the draft board, he had stellar numbers at the combine. And he looked great throwing the ball or his pro day and shit like that.
Mm-hmm. I just saw this. Washington kind of struggled against Arizona, 31-24.
Arizona's a little frisky this year. Washington.
Yeah, 3-2. They're not 1-4 like I expected them to be.
No, they're a lot better. Washington has been humming all over. It was kind of like a backdoor cover type thing where they were leading and they were covering the spread for a while, and they just kind of let them score. I wasn't able to watch it because the Pac-12 network is the worst thing ever created in the world. Yep. And I got once again fucked on a bet from the Pac-12 network. So yeah, that's why they're not going to exist next year.
Right. Yeah, they're just
I don't read too
themselves.
much into it, but Washington, Oregon, I think is next week, and that is going to be awesome. And I have no idea what side I would land on for that. I'd make it a pick 'em, I don't know where it's at, but maybe give the home team 2 points, 2.5.
Let's see. They both have week 6 off.
I think they play the next. Or is it the week after?
And then, yeah, week 7. 3:30. Let's fucking go. It's on ABC.
Holy
They're at
shit.
Washington.
And let me look at
That's
that.
gonna
week
be
real
a
quick.
great
Wow.
game.
It's gonna be awesome. And look, oh, shut up, Siri. God damn it.
Ooh, and Oregon's bringing out the throwback jerseys that look fucking sick.
Oh, I'll have to find that. Oh, and then North Carolina, Miami's that week too. That's a good game.
We're starting to see the matchups come together. The
Yeah.
first, 4 or 5 weeks are a little bit slow, but then.
And Louisville. Well, I'll just skip
Oh
over to
yeah,
the ACC.
are they playing Notre Dame this week?
Yeah, they are. They have They have a really easy schedule,
At Louisville.
but you have momentum. You're feeling good. You're playing at home. Hey, you never know what could happen. They could go in. And they could come out and or win, not just cover. They could possibly win.
That'll be a good game.
Notre Dame just kind of grinded their way to a kind of impressive low-scoring victory against Duke. Sam Hartman. I know they lost against Ohio State, but you can't count him out for the Heisman. Still, that's still alive. There's a path for him to still possibly beat the Heisman, because that 4th and 16 play where he just said, "I'm getting there," was incredible. And then Estime just
I didn't
into
realize
the
that
end
it was
zone.
4th down. I thought it was 3rd down at first.
It was wild. He was like, and he waited. He was like, all right, and he's like, I gotta go. And very
He had
impressive.
no other option.
And
That was good.
Clemson beat Syracuse.
Like you said,
I guess.
Estime fucking rammed it in.
Beast mode. He went beast mode. Until he looked
Yeah, he
dead,
did.
and then all of a sudden he's busting through.
Fuck yeah. So actually, there's some LSU Missouri is next week. That might be a good matchup.
I think
Oklahoma
Florida
Texas.
State.
We'll see if Texas can hold up.
The Big 12 and Texas is, for me, one is Texas, 2 is Florida State. I think their resume so far has been the best. I think Texas, with that win over Alabama, the way that they won, they just kind of grinded Alabama down until they finally just stepped on their throats and ended it. And they did the same thing against Kansas. Now, Kansas had their backup quarterback in, but he was still, Bean. I don't know his full name, but his last name's Bean. Bean time.
Bean.
He was fun, and he could throw it. But Texas, their defensive line and the offensive line are what really impressed me the most about them, and I think that's a winning formula in college football. And I'm just very impressed. And I think it might not be a shutout, but I think Texas is going to run away with this. I don't believe in Oklahoma. They have been killing teams, but they're all kind of just meh. And I think Texas can impose their will.
Well, this is the first real big scoring offense Texas has gone up against. So
Yes.
we'll see. I do think that they can win, and I do think that they will win.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. I think it will be a good game.
Like I said, Texas and Florida State, I had just so much faith in them, and I really liked the way that they were going, that I'm gonna back them until they prove otherwise. And I think that they have, and it would just be more fun if teams like that were back in the playoff. Hell, even get rid of Georgia. Imagine a Texas, Florida State, Miami, Penn State final, Final Four. That'd be wild. That'd be so much fun. Those fan bases.
It doesn't even make sense.
There's so many combinations that are possible.
There really is right now. That would be crazy. I feel like this year specifically, there's no team that's far and away above the best team. Last year was obviously Georgia.
Yeah.
But
No one.
who else?
No
Not
one
even
has
Georgia this year.
No one has separated themselves, and some people have said that win for Georgia against Auburn was huge for them, and where they will kind of turn it on, because they kind of struggled, but they gutted it out and they won in a kind of impressive fashion still at the end. But I think that they're down. I don't think they're as good as last year. And I could be proven otherwise, but I don't believe it this year.
Right. I watched Swamp Kings this weekend. I watched all four, or all, what was it, 3 or 4 episodes? 4 episodes.
The Urban Meyer Suckfest.
I feel like I have a whole new appreciation for like the air behind college football. It's just like so like there's something like whimsical about it.
And I think that's what captured me when I finally decided to be like a Penn State fan. Like I was with Corey and a bunch of other Penn State fans. We were all just wasted together at the guy's house watching when they beat Ohio State, and I was just captivated in that moment and the excitement and all that aura that you're talking about. Where I was like, I'm like, what? I've been missing this my entire life. This is incredible.
But I felt it like more specifically with like SEC football.
Yes,
because like I mean,
different.
And they're like in Florida, they're going out to fucking Gainesville and fucking Alabama or fucking all these SEC teams are just like in a little bit more.
They have a lot less to do down there. It definitely
Yeah.
means a lot more in the South. And I think as like a whole, like if you're on campus at the places like Ohio State and Penn State, I'd say you'd probably feel the same aura. But if you're down in the South and you're just even like within 100 miles of fucking Alabama, it probably still feels the same on a Saturday of like, Roll Tide, they're playing today, and the whole town's like just Alabama.
Roll Tide.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I didn't really have anything else for college football.
Nope, that was it.
You basically took care of that one this weekend.
I'm fine with. I like the way that I set that up. I thought that worked really well, so I'm fine with kind of going through it that way, like we did.
I like going through the conferences. Yeah,
and that helped us keep it flowing instead of like me just reading through scores.
Exactly. Instead of trying to find random games that
what did I miss?
That we liked this weekend.
Yeah,
that was good.
Just write down
I did
my
like
thoughts.
That. Fuck yeah! All right. NFL.
It's in the game.
It's in the game. EA Sports. It's in the game. Okay. First thing I noticed about this week. Texans looking snazzy. Ooh.
I have to, before we move on with NFL, I have to say I'm a box score boy this week a little bit because we were out on a fishing trip, so I was able to watch some of the games, but some I'm more reacting to box scores and highlights. So yeah, Texans, wow, impressive. CJ Stroud is damn good.
Texans looked very good, and I'm glad I picked up CJ Stroud because Geno Smith is on a bye week. Not like it mattered anyway, because I still lost to you by 16, and neither of us broke 100.
It was so funny looking at it. The projections after I think before Sunday Night Football, I had 1 player left. You had 3, and I was projected to beat you still.
Well, no. I had 2. I had Darren Waller and Geno Smith. You had 1. I still was projected to beat you by
before Sunday night.
Sunday night.
Yeah.
Well, no, on Monday. On Monday you had Kenneth Walker.
Mm-hmm.
And I was still projected to beat you by 1
bad. Kenneth Walker looked bad at one point. Shannon and I put a bomb on his rushing yards, and it was looking. He had -1 at halftime. And we were
Jesus.
like, "Oh, this is awful." And then he ended up with 70 something.
Didn't he have 2 touchdowns though?
I don't think he scored at all.
Oh shit! I thought he got at least 1.
He might have gotten 1.
It doesn't matter. He still
won.
But yeah, CJ Stroud, those red helmets,
those are nice.
I really like him. Seeing him on Twitter is one thing.
Yeah.
Seeing him in game is.
And now with the quarterback who's going to be the guy, and they're a little bit they don't just suck. You don't just expect them to suck now the way that they've played. It looks a lot cooler.
Right. I don't know how I didn't make this joke last week, but I made it on Twitter and I got 250 likes responding to someone else Wonder lick my ass, C.J. Stroud probably.
That shit does not matter. I mean, I'm sure there's some people that help, but I mean, I think Ryan Fitzpatrick got like a perfect score on the Wonderlic, and he was just a journeyman quarterback who was great at times, but
Fitz magic,
special.
baby.
Yeah.
Well, he also went to Harvard.
Yeah, true. But this was surprising because I did not think the Steelers were going to look this bad, and now Kenny Pickett's out for I don't know how long.
Well, no, he said he's probably going to play Sunday.
Oh shit, I didn't see that.
Yeah, he's going to be wearing a knee brace. Well, he's wearing a knee brace in practice right now. He doesn't know if he'll wear it on Sunday, but he will be playing on Sunday.
I just expected so much more from them. I thought, and they looked a lot better against the Raiders there, and I was like, I think they'll do great against the Texans, even if maybe they don't win, but it'll be like a high scoring game. Or that was that screamed a T.J. Watt Rex this game because I think they had like 3 starting linemen now. And
yeah, I think so. Yeah,
couldn't do anything. C.J. Stroud was wheeling and dealing. Damian Pierce was running all over the place.
I mean, Damian Pierce had a great game.
Yeah.
The offense, I feel like it's finally starting to come together for the Texans. I don't know if they expected it to come together this fast.
No.
I'm kind of surprised.
D'Amico Ryans is a hell of a coach.
Yeah, Stroud is like the what?
Dude, he's
third
like leading.
Third or fourth QB to average 300 yards, 2 touchdowns a game.
Yeah, I think he's on pace to shatter a bunch of rookie records.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily like the pick, I don't think.
Hey. But speaking of other Ohio State quarterbacks, maybe Justin Fields isn't completely the problem? Because he was wheeling and dealing for a while there.
Dude, this was a battle of
collapsed.
the worst teams.
And the Bears
Broncos versus Bears.
Matt Eberflus is the best coach at losing ever. Like he's just getting picks for him. Like they may just take Caleb Williams and Drake May or whoever they want to take second, and just be like, let's figure out who's the one.
Take Caleb Williams and fucking Marvin Harrison Jr. 1 and 2.
There you go.
Because they have the 1 and 2 picks right now.
That would be good. There you go. And that's
with Chase Claypool being out, what's going on with him?
That is an interesting story that I do not remember all the details. It was very weird. Like
he was a healthy scratch. He didn't show up to the game though.
He got asked by a reporter if he thought he was being used correctly, and he said no. And then like the organization or someone told him to stay home for the game, and it had something to do with Matt Eberflus or someone being butthurt about what he said.
That's it.
But so now they're looking to trade him.
Yeah, they told him that he's going to be inactive this week again, I think. I think they're playing on Thursday night.
Yep. Commanders, Bears. Woo!
Yay. Woohoo. You know what? This is what Prime Video deserves.
Yeah. And man, the Bengals. What's going on with them?
This is like these. What's up with the Brown Stinkfest? The only Brown team that doesn't suck is the fucking Browns.
Yeah, exactly.
And they kind of sucked this week.
They did. They were very bad. But the Bengals, dude, like Joe Burrow, what is going on with him? I think he just needs to sit.
Is it his knee? Like, is it because or his hamstring or whatever the fuck he aggravated?
It's like his calf or his ankle, something like that.
His calf. It's his calf, yeah.
And he said he wanted to play because he's like, we can't start 1-3 or 0-3 or something like that. And it was like, well, dude, like,
well,
if you get hurt more, then you're not gonna start. Your whole season's gonna be fucked. And this is a hole that is gonna be hard to get out of. And like Tennessee was very impressive in that game. It was just like,
yeah.
Derrick Henry coming alive again, and the defense was stellar.
I was gonna say when Derrick Henry's throwing passes against you, you know you're fucked.
Yeah, you know they're putting a clowning on you.
Yeah,
and the offense just looks kind of lost.
Yeah. Well, speaking of fucking clowns, Patriots are. I know you said this might be an exaggeration, but I'm not exaggerating. The laughing stock of the NFL right now, just. Right up there with the Bears.
There's a
What is
different
going
level
on?
to the Bears, man. The Bears are so bad. You guys are. I mean, that was tough, and I think
Well, no, it's like there's a glimmer of hope behind the Bears, but with the Patriots, there's just
not
nothing.
anymore. The Bears are giving up on Justin
We're
Fields.
all just dead behind our eyes. We don't have a fucking soul anymore. Like, that's what this feels like.
Well, guess what, buddy? You had a lifetime of souls, so you got plenty to give up.
It has been, you know what? Honestly, it's been a shit week for sports. Losing, you beat me first off. I lost by 160 points in my work league.
God!
It's an 8-team league, so
Jesus, you
yeah,
got your ass whooped.
240 to 89 or something. 240 something to 89.
Jesus Christ!
And then the Patriots got demolished 38-3 by the fucking Cowboys.
Was that in Dallas?
It was in Dallas. Matthew
Yeah.
Judon tore his bicep tendon. Fucking Christian Gonzalez tore his labrum and is out for the year because he dislocated his shoulder.
Yeah.
Dude, fuck it. Tank. I will be extremely happy with any of Williams, May, or Penix. Please, just tank. I don't give a shit anymore. Do not win any more games this year. Please go 1-16.
Jesus Christ. Well, I mean, it's you guys didn't look. I mean, the Jets game didn't look. The Jets game didn't look good, but the other games, you guys looked solid, and I think.
Well,
I think you're still
yeah,
not
but now,
out
like,
of it. But Mac did look really bad.
2/11 of the reason the defense looked good are now gone.
True. But, yeah, I guess with that. It's just the Cowboys have the ability, as much as I'll say they're frauds, they have the ability to just do that to teams, especially at home. Like, they lost to the Cardinals last week. You shouldn't have been surprised that they came out and shit-stomped you.
I know, but, like, what I say last
week, was very sad.
I was not surprised that the Jets game was not a barometer of how good we actually were, because it just wasn't at all. I mean, It's not even like they looked great against the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
But this really was just like, oh my God. I think it is more frustrating to watch this year than last year.
Probably.
Because now I don't know what the problem is.
That's how you know you have a problem.
Well, you got the offensive line first off. That's a huge issue. Mac is making terrible fucking decisions. He got benched in the third quarter for for fucking Bailey Zappi.
If you don't know if he's the guy, he's probably not the guy.
This is his make or break year, and if he's not going to do anything this year, they're either going to tank or fucking just. Oh, I don't see the Patriots tanking per se, which is even more frustrating.
Yeah.
But it really comes down to what I was saying last year. Premium talent. We need premium fucking talent on the offense.
Offensive talent, yeah.
Not Juju. Who the fuck? Not Juju and his fucking Al Qaeda knee.
I don't know how. I don't think Bill's that good at evaluating offensive talent anymore. I don't know if he ever was.
I just think he refuses to do it. And he's just like, yeah, whatever. We'll be doing this one. Defense. That he's still good at, and I also have hope for J.C. Jackson coming in and being the same J.C. Jackson that he was before he left for the Chargers.
Weren't you laughing at him after week 1? Didn't you get cooked?
I think he got hurt.
Was Nola dealing? The game's on. Sorry.
No, all good. 10 minutes into it.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Like,
it's just.
It feels like the Patriots
welcome to hell.
Right. It feels like the Patriots need a lucky break just to be competitive. Not even to win, just to be competitive every game. And that's not going to fly.
No. It's welcome to the Thunderdome, as I sent to you in Frowny. It's welcome to what many teams have had to deal with for a long time, and I've been warning you about, which I would be skeptical too if I were you, because all I've known is just winning. So it's like, why wouldn't we just figure it out?
That's not the fucking point at all, and I hope you know that.
I know. It's just you're very up in the air about a lot right now with the team, and that's the worst place you can be as a fan.
Well, no, it frustrates me because we shouldn't be that one. We should not be this bad.
It's when you think you have the
point
pieces
blank,
and you should be better.
We should be 2-2 right now.
Yeah.
Whether that win would have came against the Eagles or the Dolphins, we should be 2-2 right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know what? Starting out 1-3 with what I was looking at before.
Hell, I think if the Cowboys had beaten the Cardinals, I think there was a world that you guys could have beaten the Cowboys too. From your team to my team, Eagles were in a fucking war against the commies, the Commanders, whatever.
They were. That was shocking.
It was, and I think it said a lot more about the Commanders of like they looked really bad against the Bills last week, but they're not that bad. I think they could be. I think so far I've nailed the NFC East of like Eagles and Cowboys at the top. Commanders are going to be pesky, possibly be a playoff team, and the Giants are dog shit. And the defense is there's. I still have questions all around for the team where I feel like we're playing at like 80% of what we should be, and the fact that we're still winning and winning in ways that like even though it's close, it doesn't feel like it the entire game. Like I felt like we were in control of that game the whole time, even though we were losing at one point. And AJ Brown finally got his. He got the 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he had a great game.
I did feel like that was the issue with part of the offense where like I felt like we were trying to lock in on him and get him his like yards and get him a touchdown finally. And he got 2. He had a lot of yards. Let's let the offense flow now.
Yeah, I was really surprised that they struggled so hard.
Excuse me.
We were both like fucking.
Yeah, I was like, what is going on?
The Commanders' quarterback's gonna get killed, and
I thought that the offensive line stepped up, and their defense made some stops, but they weren't great. But I think Sam Howell, you can't count him out yet. He was very impressive. He made some damn good throws.
No, yeah, that was pretty good.
Where there was some where I was like, wow, that was just a well-placed ball.
Well, we talked about the Giants real quick. Extremely disappointing. Next 2 games are against the Dolphins and the Bills on the road.
Who, man?
And I knew that we were going to go into the Bills next, so that's why I wanted to mention that.
That's perfect because that's a tough stretch for the Giants because even though, like, you know, those Dolphins looked real good last week against the Broncos, but the Bills, I don't know how many people saw that coming. I felt like the Bills were going to come out pissed. Like, they kind of rounded into form, and that was just an awesome showing by them. Stephon Diggs, 3 touchdowns. The offense looked great. The defense pretty much shut them down. I know they scored 20 points, but, I mean, they did not look like they were moving from what I was watching.
That was seriously one of the best games that I've ever seen Diggs play.
It was a complete game all around for the Bills. And if that's their peak, they are absolutely a team that you should be scared of in the playoffs.
This is the Bills that we know.
Yep.
This is not
the Bills that we've expected.
This is not the Bills that were scarred from the AFC Championship game last year.
This is the Bills that you expected when you came into the season.
Yeah, we're gonna get our Bills-Chiefs matchup in the AFC Championship game if this keeps playing out.
I think that's very possible.
Right now, it's looking like that.
And then the other team in New York also kind of had an impressive week. The Jets keeping it close. Zach Wilson showed up.
The only thing that was holding him back was the refs.
The refs were horrible that game, all over. Patrick Mahomes looked horrific. The memes of Taylor and Brittany Mahomes were hilarious. Brittany Mahomes looked miserable that the shine wasn't on her, which was very funny. And then the
Travis was finally like, well, it was in his most recent episode of the podcast which I still need to listen to. I just heard this out of it. Was that he was like, yeah, the media kind of needs to fucking chill.
Oh my god! And then like that whole game was just, it was very annoying beforehand, where they literally did like explain football in case there was Swifties like coming in, and it's just Reagan was like, I want to punch myself in the face.
Yeah. Someone took a video of a girl wearing a Swelsey shirt at at the Panthers game.
Oh my god! Like it's just too much.
Swelsey.
Let them be. Like I feel like I'm not gonna say it. We don't need them coming after us. Yeah, it's annoying. But Zach Wilson, I want to talk about him because he played a hell of a game, and he did fumble in the end. And he was like, you saw him on the sideline, his teammates consoling him.
Boy, his field mates.
And he, he's like, I lost it for us. And
the
technically,
New York
yeah.
City 90s.
Oi, blood! I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened there. But yeah, it was very just a weird game. And the Chiefs,
it was ugly. Like I didn't watch too much of it.
And these primetime games, they're just they have sucked so much. And what I want is I want to get that Chiefs-Rams game from like 2016 or 17 that was like 56-55 that was supposed to be in Mexico City but ended up not being, and it was just the best game ever. That needs to be what we need to implement a rule to make the games like that.
I mean, like, even like, I don't know, let's go to like back to 2011. I remember staying up till like 11:45 on a school night watching the Patriots come back against the Broncos.
Yeah. Like, just
dude, that was fucking
more
great.
Exciting games. And this Rams team this year,
2014. I think it was 2014.
Something like that, maybe. But this Rams team this year could be a team that can do something like that because they're very fun. And Puka Nacua is a serious threat. He has 39 receptions, which is like, he's way ahead to break a bunch of records for rookie numbers.
8 or 9 more receptions than the next closest person.
And did you see that? I think the top, like,
it was Anquan Bolden had like 31 through 4 games.
Yeah,
Puka Nacua has 39, right?
Yeah, Puka Nacua has 39, and he also has Calvin Johnson was another Megatron. Like, Matthew Stafford receivers have like all the rookie numbers. Like, there's a bunch of them in there that their rookie year, it was Matt Stafford throwing to them.
Damn, and didn't even know that.
They're very up and down, and there's also another impressive rookie quarterback on the other side of that game with the Colts. Anthony Richardson is electric.
I love me some Anthony Richardson. Let's not get it twisted.
He's gonna be an automatic start for me every week now. Like I'll take the lows, but the highs are just.
He scored 31 this week.
Yeah. That could have really. If I had lost, I could have pointed it right to not starting him.
Yep. And I would have been like, ah.
Yeah. So Ian, did you and your kids enjoy the Toy Story game?
My kid brain enjoyed it. Well, at first, I'll admit it, I did not like it at first. I watched the first drive. I tuned in like half an hour late.
I think it was bad.
I thought it started at 10, but it started at 9:30.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, it seems kind of like it doesn't have the same energy. And like at first the audio was kind of off with what was happening on the virtual field.
Yeah,
and like it was so like kid oriented that I was like, is this the only fucking broadcast?
A lot of people, I saw a lot of people say that, and I was like, well, I didn't get that. I thought,
well, because no, I don't.
But
think
I guess it wasn't advertised
ESPN
well.
Plus.
Yeah, I guess it wasn't. Yeah,
not a lot of people have ESPN Plus.
That's true.
As much as we think.
That's something that they're going to be like, hey, get the Hulu, Disney Plus, ESPN Plus bundle, full 2 set,
which is worth it.
It is.
Especially with fucking like, Disney Plus going up $1 soon.
Yeah,
fuck off.
If you like sports, ESPN Plus is worth it, especially for college football and college basketball.
And of
And you
course,
can
I'm
find
going to
some
keep my
random fun shit.
Disney Plus subscription because season 2 of Loki's coming out soon.
Hell
So
yeah. I'm so behind on Marvel stuff. They've just been doing too many shows, but I really like Loki. I'm going to maybe just look something up to try and figure it out. Oh, that
I need
confused
to
me.
rewatch season 1.
But yeah, there was it was an interesting look at a game. I watched it for a little bit. I didn't really watch the game much. It was a boring game, kind of. But
It was cool. It was actually kind of cool to see it play out in real time, and it looked decent. It
yeah,
did.
it's definitely a way to capture children's attention very easily. Like that's I could see, and the NHL one that I watched before to see what it would look like made sense too. Like it looked like you were kind of just watching a video game.
Right, but yeah, I feel like in football it would be easier because it's a little more static. There's not as much movement.
Yeah, it actually wasn't bad. The hockey one wasn't too bad when I watched the replay on YouTube. It looked a lot more video game-esque though.
Yeah. Fucking Bijan, dude.
He's a stud. He's damn good.
Bijan is the real deal. Like that's,
Yep.
if anything, I think that's my best fantasy pick.
And the fucking Lions need to start using Jahmyr Gibbs like him because that guy hardly gets touches. I feel like all the time.
I just saw it. David Montgomery has 30 more carries, 69-30.
And he's
69.
stealing. David Montgomery is getting like all the goal line carries where you could use Jahmyr Gibbs for like a screen type thing, or have him run routes. Like he's so versatile, and they literally said at the beginning of the season they're going to use him in ways you've never seen or something like that, and they just haven't.
Like I said last week, they're just not going to use him.
Yeah, and he's
that's
and
the twist.
Lions. And the funny thing is, the Lions look really good when they're hardly even using them. They crushed the Packers.
They crushed them 34-20.
It was so impressive.
But then again, Montgomery had 120 yards and 3 touchdowns.
That's
So
what I'm saying.
It's not like he's doing nothing,
Yeah. No, I know. I'm not saying Montgomery's doing nothing. It's like just impressive that they're hardly using Jahmyr Gibbs and they're still just killing people.
They don't. Maybe they're saving. Honestly, I would save it. I would save those packages you have, as long as you're still doing.
If you're planning to get the playoffs and like, oh hey, all of a sudden here's Jahmyr Gibbs, that'd be some long-term thinking right there.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap up these last 2 games here. The
Vikings Panthers. Yikes!
Panthers stink, and they don't even have a first-round pick.
At first, it looked like they were going to dominate with a pick 6 off of Cousins, 100-yard pick 6.
No, I mean the Vikings. They got a bit of a hole. They're in a bit of a hole they need to get out of, but I wouldn't completely count them out because Justin Jefferson and Kirk Cousins are like in the lead to have so many yards projected.
Right.
They've been very impressive. Defense.
TJ Hawkinson has been pretty good too, right?
Oh yeah, he's getting lots of touches over there.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
One purple team to another, Ian. Baltimore dominates the Browns.
Before we go on, I wanted to say I thought it was funny that I said I was a Desmond Ridder believer.
Oh yeah, he looked really bad.
He looked very bad. What, 3 interceptions?
Yeah, 3.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Ugh.
All right, but yeah, from one purple team to another, from the Vikings to the Ravens.
No, the Browns did have their backup out, DTR, who was just like crazy. He was electric.
Yeah.
But they dominated.
Did you see the first couple possessions?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was like Jameis out there.
He looks like a 5th-round rookie quarterback.
Yeah. But I feel like the Ravens do have it's one of those circle things in one of the divisions, or like the Ravens do kind of dominate the Browns. Like I feel like they always play really well against them. And that was very impressive by the Ravens. Ravens are definitely a contender. They just got to stop playing down to some of these teams like they do with the Colts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
Nice to just hash it out. Yeah.
That
was after having the past 3 episodes have been 2 hours, almost 2 hours.
That was a clean hour.
So yeah, clean hour. That was good. RJ, we munch some time off the end there.
Hell yeah.
All right, everyone. Thank you very much. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Follow us on Instagram at Hoagies and Pierogis.
Hoagies and pierogies. I made homemade pierogies recently, and they were much good.
Let's go. Good luck to the Phillies.
Yeah, Red October.